Hi, my name is Sharmaine Meek. I am an Indigenous pastor and I am an abortion survivor. I am making this in response to the media release of May 6 of Labor's plans to support women's reproductive rights and also the Morrison-Shorten debate of May 8. We want a Prime Minister of this nation to have a moral compass. We do not want a Prime Minister of this nation that does not have a moral compass, who has no fear of God and doesn't believe in the Word of God and doesn't believe that Jesus Christ died for our sins and doesn't believe that hell is a real place. We need a leader, a Prime Minister, that will lead this nation into righteousness. Righteousness exalts a nation and sin is reproach to a people. With the Labor Party's policy of pushing abortion and pushing the decriminalisation of abortion across Australia will only lead to some devastating repercussions and ramifications into the future generations of our country. Labor's policy to take away the funds from hospitals that refuse to do abortions, where does that leave the sovereignty of a person's choice? What about the doctors and nurses' consciences that they're trying to violate by making them do abortions? And if they don't do abortions, well, then there'll be some consequences to their choices. We're supposed to be a democratic society. We're supposed to have freedom of speech. And most of all, we have a God-given sovereign will that we are free to choose. So that's their policy. If you don't toe the line, well then we're going to pull funding. If you don't toe the line, well then you're out of a job. That's not what you call a democratic society, and I believe that's not a very good policy. In actual fact, it's an ungodly policy. I am the mother of 3 children, the grandmother of 8, and great-grandmother of 5, and another one to be born in June. If my mother had succeeded in her abortion attempt in my life, then all those bloodlines that exist today, including mine, would have been wiped out. So we have to understand that we are wiping out generations, we are wiping out bloodlines with every child that dies. The Word of God is very clear in Psalm 139 that God watches over the embryo, God watches over the fetus, and there's a book even written for the days of that child's life, and that we are interfering with His purpose and plans for that life and destroying a whole world, destroying destiny, destroying bloodlines all over the place if we continue down this pathway. So we don't want to be like that into the future. And there's also, we need to think of the spiritual ramifications and the spiritual side of things as well, what that does to a female's body. So we have to be mindful of these things when we are voting. And Labor wants to continue to kill our children in this nation, and long term it's going to bring serious consequences. And in closing this clip, please do a search on a substance called HEK 293. God bless you all, and don't vote for Labor.